Have you ever had that moment when you reached for something on a high shelf or tried to get up from a low chair and suddenly thought, when did this become so hard? Maybe it happened just last week. Maybe it was this morning. You know that feeling I'm talking about. That split second when you realize your body isn't responding the way it used to. And then you brush it off, tell yourself you're just tired, or maybe you slept wrong. But deep down, there's this little voice whispering, is this how it starts? You know what I'm talking about, don't you? You've seen it. Maybe it's happening in your own family right now. Two people, born in the same year, maybe even grew up on the same street. But one is still gardening, still dancing at family weddings, still living life on their own terms. While the other, well, the other has slowly started needing more and more help with things that used to be second nature. And here's what breaks my heart. Most people think this is just the way it has to be. That losing your strength, your independence, your ability to do the things you love, that it's all just part of getting older. But I'm here to tell you that's not true. The difference between staying independent in your golden years versus losing that freedom often comes down to one thing: muscle mass. And the shocking truth is, most seniors are losing it without even realizing it until it's almost too late. There's no pain, no obvious warning signs. One day you're fine, and the next day, you can't quite get up from that low chair as easily as you used to. By the time you're 60, your body can lose up to a third of its muscle mass. A third. And most people have no idea it's happening. They just think they're having an off day, when really, their muscles are quietly disappearing, taking their independence with them. But here's the thing that gets me excited, and why I had to make this video for you today. Recent research is showing us that this doesn't have to be your story. You don't have to just accept this as inevitable. Today, I'm sharing 10 specific foods that can actually start reversing muscle loss in just 7 days. Not 7 months, not 7 weeks, 7 days. These aren't expensive supplements or complicated diets that require you to overhaul your entire life. These are foods you can find at any grocery store, foods that might already be sitting in your kitchen right now. And the science behind them will absolutely surprise you. Some of these foods work so powerfully that in clinical studies, they perform better than prescription medications. Others contain compounds that literally switch on your body's muscle-building mechanisms, even when you're in your 70s, 80s, or beyond. Before we begin, I want you to do something for me. If you're ready to take control of your muscle health, if you're tired of watching strength slip away and you want to fight back, comment stronger right now. Let me know you're here and you're ready. And if this is your first time visiting Elderly Healthcare, hit that subscribe button, because we're going to dive deep into the science of staying strong, independent, and vibrant as you age. Because here's what I believe with every fiber of my being: your best years don't have to be behind you. They can be right now, and they can be ahead of you too. Now, I want to start with one of the most powerful muscle-building food on the planet, and it might surprise you. It's whey protein. Here's why whey protein is so incredible for people over 60. And this is backed by solid research from institutions like McMaster University and Harvard Medical School. Whey protein contains the highest levels of something called leucine. Think of leucine as a switch that turns on muscle building in your body. Now, as we age, our muscles become resistant to growth signals. It's like the switch gets harder and harder to flip. But whey protein has so much leucine that it can flip that switch even when aging muscles don't want to respond. Studies show that seniors who consume whey protein can overcome what researchers call anabolic resistance. Basically, your muscles' stubborn refusal to build new tissue. One landmark study from McMaster University found that seniors who added whey protein to their diet maintained 40% more muscle compared to those who got their protein from regular foods. That's not a small difference. That's the difference between independence and dependence. Here's something that might shock you. Many seniors think protein is just for bodybuilders, but after 60, you actually need more protein than younger adults. The recommended amount jumps from about 0.8 grams per kilogram of body weight to 1.2 to 1.6 grams. Your body becomes less efficient at using the protein you eat, so you need to give it more to get the same muscle-building effect. But whey protein has another advantage that's crucial for older adults. It digests incredibly fast, flooding your bloodstream with amino acids within 30 minutes of drinking it. This rapid delivery is exactly what aging muscles need to overcome their resistance to growth signals. Clinical trials have also shown that whey protein contains bioactive peptides that improve insulin sensitivity and reduce inflammation, both factors that become more important for muscle health as we age. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Do I really need to drink protein shakes like some 20-year-old athlete? The answer is absolutely not. You don't need to gulp down huge chalky drinks or turn your kitchen into a supplement store. Here's what the research shows works best. Add 20 to 30 grams of whey protein daily, ideally within 30 minutes of any physical activity. And when I say physical activity, I don't mean you need to be running marathons. Even a gentle walk around the block, some light stretching, or tending to your garden counts. Your muscles are primed to use that protein most effectively right after you've moved your body, even just a little bit. You can mix whey protein with water, milk, or blend it into a smoothie with some of the other foods I'm going to share with you today. And if you're worried about the taste, the quality of whey protein has come so far. Many of them taste like milkshakes now. The second food that can transform your muscle health is sitting right there in your refrigerator, and you've probably been eating it wrong your whole life. I'm talking about eggs, but not just any eggs, and definitely not just the whites. For decades, we've been told to throw away the yolk, that it's bad for our cholesterol, that the egg white is where all the good stuff is. Well, I'm here to tell you that when it comes to building muscle after 60, that advice is not just wrong. It's actually robbing you of incredible benefits. Here's what the research shows. Whole eggs provide all the essential amino acids your body needs to build muscle. But here's the kicker. The yolk contains nutrients that make the protein 40% more effective than egg whites alone. 40%. That's like getting almost half again as much muscle-building power from the same amount of food. Think about what's actually in that yolk you might be throwing away. It's packed with leucine, that same muscle-building switch I mentioned with whey protein. It's got choline, which helps your brain communicate with your muscles. It has vitamin D, which most seniors are deficient in and which plays a huge role in muscle strength. All of this working together to make that egg protein work harder for you. And here's something most people don't realize. Nearly half of the protein in an egg is actually in the yolk. So when you're eating just egg whites, you're literally throwing away half the muscle-building potential. Now, I know some of you are thinking, but what about my cholesterol? Recent research has shown that for most people, eating up to 7 eggs a week doesn't raise the risk of heart problems and may even help improve your cholesterol levels. Your body actually needs cholesterol to make hormones that keep your muscles strong. Here's how to use eggs to fight muscle loss. Aim for 1 to 2 whole eggs daily, especially at breakfast. Most seniors get their least amount of protein at breakfast, and that's a missed opportunity. Your muscles have been fasting all night while you sleep, and they're hungry for those amino acids first thing in the morning. You don't need to make it complicated. A simple scrambled egg with your morning toast, a hard-boiled egg with your oatmeal, or even just adding an egg to your usual breakfast routine can make a real difference. Hard-boiled eggs are also perfect if you want something quick and simple. You can prepare several at once and have them ready when you need them. The third food I want to share with you works while you sleep, and that's Greek yogurt. But there's a specific way you need to eat it to get the muscle-protecting benefits. Most people think of Greek yogurt as just a healthy breakfast option, but what they don't realize is that Greek yogurt contains a special type of protein called casein that works completely differently from other proteins. While whey protein works fast, getting into your bloodstream quickly after you eat it, casein protein works slowly, like a time-release capsule. Here's why this matters so much for people over 60. When you sleep, your body goes into what's essentially a fasting state for 7 to 8 hours. During this time, if your muscles don't have a steady supply of amino acids, they start breaking down to provide energy for your body. It's like your muscles are being slowly cannibalized while you rest. But casein protein changes all of that. It sits in your stomach and slowly releases amino acids into your bloodstream for hours, sometimes up to 7 hours. It's like having a steady drip of muscle-protecting nutrients all night long, keeping your muscles from breaking down while you sleep. And this is crucial because muscle loss actually accelerates during sleep, especially as we age. Your body's natural muscle-building processes slow down at night, but the breakdown continues. Greek yogurt with its casein protein acts like a night guard for your muscles. Now, not all Greek yogurt is created equal. You want to choose plain, full-fat Greek yogurt without added sugar. The fat actually helps with the slow absorption of the casein protein, and it helps your body absorb fat-soluble vitamins better. Plus, the probiotics in Greek yogurt support a healthy gut, which plays a bigger role in muscle health than most people realize. Here's exactly how to use Greek yogurt to protect your muscles. Have 6 ounces of plain, full-fat Greek yogurt as an evening snack, 3 to 4 times per week. You don't need to have it every single night. Your body will benefit from this muscle protection even if you do it just a few times a week. If you find plain Greek yogurt too tart, try mixing in a handful of berries or a small drizzle of honey. But avoid the flavored versions that are loaded with sugar that can actually interfere with the muscle-building process. The fourth food that can dramatically improve your muscle health is one that most people eat for their heart, but they have no idea it's also one of the most powerful muscle-building foods available. I'm talking about fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines. Let me tell you about Richard, a 73-year-old grandfather who started eating salmon twice a week on his doctor's advice for his heart health. After just 2 weeks, Richard noticed something unexpected. His chronic joint pain was improving. He was moving more easily, feeling less stiff in the mornings. What Richard didn't realize was that his muscles were getting stronger too. You see, Richard had been caught in a vicious cycle that affects millions of seniors. As we age, our bodies develop what's called chronic inflammation. It's like having a small fire burning inside your body all the time. This inflammation doesn't just cause joint pain and stiffness. It's actively breaking down your muscle tissue every single day. Here's where fatty fish becomes your secret weapon. The omega-3 fatty acids in fish like salmon work like your body's own fire department, putting out that chronic inflammation that's been slowly destroying your muscles. But that's not all they do. These omega-3s also improve how your muscles respond to protein. Remember how I mentioned that aging muscles become resistant to growth signals? Well, omega-3s help wake those muscles back up, making them more sensitive to the protein you eat. It's like they're clearing the static from the radio signal between your food and your muscles. A 4-ounce piece of salmon gives you around 20 grams of complete protein. That's all the essential amino acids your body needs. But unlike other protein sources, it comes packaged with these powerful anti-inflammatory compounds that actually help that protein work better in your body. Studies show that older adults who eat fatty fish twice a week lose significantly less muscle over time compared to those who rarely include it in their diet. We're talking about measurable differences in muscle mass over just a few years. Here's how to add fatty fish to your routine. Include salmon, mackerel, or sardines twice weekly. Wild-caught is your best option when you can find it and afford it, as it tends to have higher levels of those beneficial omega-3s. But even farm-raised fish will give you substantial benefits. If preparing fresh fish feels overwhelming or if you're on a budget, don't overlook canned options. Canned salmon and sardines are convenient, affordable, and just as nutritious. You can add them to salads, make simple salmon patties, or even just eat them straight from the can with some crackers. Now, I know what I'm about to share next might make some of you uncomfortable, especially if you've been avoiding it for health reasons. But hear me out, because the science on this is absolutely compelling when it comes to preserving muscle after 60. I'm talking about lean beef. And before you click away thinking I'm going to tell you to eat steak every night, let me explain why this food is so crucial for maintaining muscle strength as we age. Lean beef provides more leucine per serving than almost any other food. Remember leucine? That's the master switch that turns on muscle building in your body. A 4-ounce serving of lean beef delivers a massive dose of leucine, more than you'd get from chicken, fish, or even most protein powders. But lean beef has another secret weapon that's especially important for people over 60, creatine. Now, when you hear creatine, you might think of young athletes trying to bulk up. But here's what most people don't know. Your body naturally makes creatine to give your muscles energy and help them grow stronger. The problem is, as we age, our ability to produce creatine drops significantly. This is where lean beef becomes so valuable. It's one of the few natural food sources of creatine, giving your aging muscles the energy they need to function properly and respond to exercise. I know many of you have been told to avoid red meat, and I understand those concerns. But the fear around red meat often doesn't distinguish between processed meats like hot dogs and sausages and lean cuts of beef. The research shows that lean cuts of beef, eaten 2 to 3 times per week, provide essential nutrients for muscle maintenance without the health risks associated with processed meats. Here's how to include lean beef safely in your muscle-building routine. Choose cuts like sirloin, tenderloin, or round. These are naturally lean cuts that give you maximum protein with minimal saturated fat. Aim for 4 to 6 ounces per serving and limit it to 2 to 3 times per week. Grass-fed beef is an even better option if it's available and fits your budget, as it contains higher levels of omega-3 fatty acids that we talked about with fish, giving you that anti-inflammatory benefit along with the muscle-building power. You don't need to eat huge steaks or complicated preparations. A simple lean beef stir-fry with vegetables, a small portion of grilled sirloin with your dinner, or even lean ground beef in a soup or chili can provide these muscle-protecting benefits. Moving to our 6th muscle-protecting food, and this one might surprise you because it doesn't look like it belongs on a muscle-building list at all. But leafy green vegetables like spinach, kale, and Swiss chard play a crucial role in keeping your muscles strong that most people never think about. Here's what's happening inside your body that you can't see. As we age, blood flow to our muscles starts to decrease. It's like the highways that deliver nutrients to your muscles are getting narrower and more congested. Even if you're eating all the right proteins and taking care of yourself, if those nutrients can't get to your muscles efficiently, you're not going to see the benefits. This is where leafy greens become your secret weapon. They're packed with natural compounds called nitrates, and when you eat them, your body converts these nitrates into something called nitric oxide. Think of nitric oxide as a traffic controller that opens up those highways, allowing blood to flow more freely to your muscles. Better blood flow means your muscles get more oxygen, more nutrients, and waste products get cleared away more efficiently. It's like giving your muscles a better delivery system and a better cleanup crew all at once. But leafy greens do something else that's crucial for people over 60. They're loaded with minerals like magnesium, potassium, and calcium, minerals that help your muscles contract properly. Many seniors are deficient in these minerals without even knowing it, and that deficiency shows up as muscle cramps, weakness, and faster muscle loss. Just 1 cup of cooked spinach provides nearly 40% of your daily magnesium needs. Low magnesium levels are directly linked to muscle weakness and increased muscle loss as we age. There's also vitamin K hiding in those dark green leaves, and vitamin K plays a role in how your body uses protein and supports overall muscle health. Research shows that seniors who get adequate vitamin K have less muscle loss over time. Here's how to get the muscle-supporting benefits of leafy greens. Aim for at least 2 cups a day. Now, I know that might sound like a lot, but it's easier than you think. Add a handful of spinach to your morning smoothie. You won't even taste it. Throw some greens into your omelet with those eggs we talked about. Make a simple soup with greens, or just sauté them with a little garlic and olive oil as a side dish. Pre-washed bagged greens can be a lifesaver if preparing fresh vegetables feels tiring or difficult. They're just as nutritious and incredibly convenient. The 7th food that can help reverse muscle loss is something you probably already have in your kitchen, but you might not be using it in the most powerful way. I'm talking about extra virgin olive oil, and the research on this is absolutely fascinating. Maria, a 78-year-old woman, had been struggling with her physical therapy after a minor fall. She was doing all the exercises her therapist recommended, but her progress felt painfully slow. Then her daughter, who had read about the Mediterranean diet, convinced Maria to switch from the margarine she'd been using for decades to extra virgin olive oil. Maria didn't expect much. After all, how much difference could cooking oil really make? But within just a few weeks, something remarkable happened. Her physical therapist started commenting on how much stronger she seemed, how much better her balance was becoming. Maria was recovering from her exercises faster and feeling less sore the next day. What Maria didn't know was that she had just introduced one of nature's most powerful anti-inflammatory compounds into her daily routine. Extra virgin olive oil contains something called oleocanthal, and here's what's incredible about this compound. It works in your body almost exactly like ibuprofen. Studies show that oleocanthal blocks the same inflammatory enzymes that ibuprofen targets, but it does it naturally, without the potential side effects. It's like having a low-dose anti-inflammatory medication built right into your food. Now, why does this matter for your muscles? Remember that chronic inflammation I mentioned earlier, the slow-burning fire that's breaking down muscle tissue as we age? Oleocanthal helps put out that fire by blocking the specific enzymes that cause muscle protein breakdown. But olive oil does something else that's crucial for people over 60. It improves what's called insulin sensitivity. As we age, many of us develop insulin resistance, which makes it much harder for our muscles to use protein properly. The healthy fats in olive oil help your muscles become more sensitive to insulin again, which means the protein you eat gets used more efficiently for building and maintaining muscle. There's another benefit that might surprise you. The healthy fats in olive oil support your body's production of important hormones like testosterone and growth hormone. Even though these hormone levels naturally decline with age, they still play important roles in maintaining muscle strength. Research from a major Mediterranean diet study showed that older adults who used olive oil daily had better muscle strength and were significantly less likely to become frail over 5 years compared to those following a low-fat diet. Here's how to harness the muscle-protecting power of olive oil. Aim for 2 to 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil per day. Use it in your salad dressings, drizzle it over cooked vegetables, or use it for gentle cooking. The key is extra virgin. This means it's minimally processed and retains those powerful anti-inflammatory compounds. Store your olive oil in a dark bottle away from heat, and check for harvest dates on the label to make sure you're getting fresh oil. Old or improperly stored olive oil loses much of its beneficial properties. Our 8th muscle-building food might surprise you because it doesn't look like typical muscle food at all. But beans and legumes, things like black beans, lentils, and chickpeas, have a secret power that most people never consider when it comes to preserving muscle strength. Here's something fascinating that researchers have only recently discovered. There's a direct connection between the health of your gut and the strength of your muscles. I know that might sound strange. What could your digestive system possibly have to do with your arm and leg muscles? But stay with me, because this connection is game-changing. Beans and legumes contain something called resistant starch, which is basically food for the good bacteria living in your gut. When these beneficial bacteria feast on resistant starch, they produce compounds that travel through your bloodstream and actually help reduce inflammation throughout your entire body, including in your muscles. Think of your gut bacteria as your internal pharmacy. When they're well fed with the right foods, they manufacture natural anti-inflammatory compounds that work better than many medications. But when these bacteria are starving because we're not feeding them properly, that internal pharmacy shuts down and inflammation starts damaging our muscles. But the gut-muscle connection goes even deeper than that. A healthy gut is crucial for absorbing nutrients from all the other muscle-building foods we've talked about. If your gut isn't functioning well, you could be eating all the protein in the world, but your body won't be able to use it effectively. Beans and legumes also provide about 15 grams of protein per cooked cup. While that's not as much as animal proteins, it's slow-digesting protein that provides a steady supply of amino acids to your muscles over several hours. Plus, they're packed with minerals that are often lacking in the diets of older adults. Things like potassium, magnesium, and iron. Low iron levels, in particular, affect how well your muscles can use oxygen and create energy, leaving you feeling weak and tired. A fascinating study from Tufts University followed seniors for 5 years and found that those who ate legumes at least 4 times a week maintained significantly more muscle mass than those who rarely ate them. Here's how to add beans and legumes to your muscle-building routine. Include black beans, lentils, or chickpeas 3 to 4 times weekly. If you're not used to eating them and they cause bloating or gas, start with small servings and gradually increase. Your gut bacteria need time to adjust. Soaking dried beans overnight before cooking can help reduce digestive discomfort. And if convenience is important to you, canned beans are perfectly fine. Just choose low-sodium versions and give them a quick rinse before eating to remove excess salt. Our ninth muscle-protecting food is probably the most convenient one on this entire list, and it's something you can literally carry in your pocket. I'm talking about mixed nuts and seeds, and while most people think of them as just a healthy snack, they're actually powerhouses for maintaining muscle strength after 60. Here's what makes nuts and seeds so special for your muscles. They're loaded with minerals that most seniors are unknowingly deficient in, and these deficiencies directly impact muscle function in ways you might not expect. Let's start with magnesium. Just a quarter cup of almonds gives you about 25% of your daily magnesium needs. And here's why that matters. Magnesium is like the conductor of an orchestra when it comes to muscle function. It helps your muscles contract and relax properly. It's involved in energy production at the cellular level, and it plays a crucial role in protein synthesis. When you're magnesium deficient, which many seniors are, you might experience muscle cramps, weakness, and faster muscle loss. Your muscles literally can't function efficiently without adequate magnesium. Then there's zinc, which you'll find in good amounts in pumpkin seeds. Zinc supports testosterone production, and while testosterone levels naturally decline with age, this hormone still plays an important role in maintaining muscle mass and strength, even in women. Walnuts bring something unique to the table. They're one of the few plant sources of omega-3 fatty acids. Remember those anti-inflammatory compounds we talked about with fish? Walnuts provide a plant-based version that helps fight the chronic inflammation that breaks down muscle tissue. And here's something most people don't think about. Vitamin E. Nuts and seeds are excellent sources of vitamin E, which works as an antioxidant, protecting your muscle cells from what's called oxidative stress. As we age, our muscles accumulate more damage from free radicals, and vitamin E helps defend against that damage. Studies show that older adults with higher vitamin E levels in their blood experience significantly less muscle loss over time. It's like having a protective shield around your muscle cells. Here's how to use nuts and seeds to boost your muscle health. Aim for 1 to 2 ounces daily of mixed varieties, almonds, walnuts, pumpkin seeds, and whatever else you enjoy. That's about a small handful or a quarter cup. I recommend pre-portioning them into small containers or bags because nuts and seeds are calorie-dense, and it's easy to overeat them. A small handful gives you all the benefits without excess calories. Choose unsalted versions when possible, especially if you're dealing with high blood pressure or tend to retain fluid. And here's a tip. If you have trouble chewing nuts due to dental issues, you can buy them already chopped or even ground into meal. You'll still get all the nutritional benefits. The 10th and final food on our muscle-protecting list might look like nothing more than a sweet treat. But berries, blueberries, strawberries, blackberries, are actually sophisticated cellular protectors that fight muscle loss at the most fundamental level. Most people think of berries as just healthy snacks, something you add to your cereal to feel good about your breakfast choices. But what's really happening when you eat berries is much more powerful than that. They're actively fighting the cellular damage that accelerates muscle loss as we age. Here's what's going on inside your muscle cells that you can't see. Each muscle cell contains tiny powerhouses called mitochondria. Think of mitochondria as the engines that produce energy for your muscles. As we age, these engines start to break down from accumulated damage caused by free radicals, unstable molecules that essentially rust your cells from the inside out. When your muscle cell engines start failing, your muscles become weaker, tire more easily, and lose the ability to repair and rebuild themselves. It's like trying to run a car with a damaged engine. Everything becomes harder and less efficient. This is where berries become your cellular repair crew. They're packed with powerful antioxidants called anthocyanins. These are what give berries their deep, rich colors. These antioxidants work like a protective shield around your muscle cell engines, neutralizing those damaging free radicals before they can cause harm. But berries do something else that's crucial for muscle structure. They're rich in vitamin C, especially strawberries, and vitamin C is essential for producing collagen. Now, when you hear collagen, You might think about skin health, but collagen is also the scaffolding that holds your muscle fibers together. As we age, this scaffolding weakens, making muscles more prone to injury and less efficient at generating force. Research from Tufts University showed that when older adults added blueberries to their diet, they had measurably improved muscle function and faster recovery after physical activity. The antioxidants were literally helping their muscles work better and bounce back faster. Here's how to harness the cellular protection of berries. Aim for at least 1 cup of mixed berries daily. And here's some good news. Frozen berries are just as nutritious as fresh ones, often more affordable and available year-round. You can add them to that Greek yogurt we talked about, blend them into smoothies with whey protein, or just eat them on their own. They're also an excellent replacement for sugary desserts that can actually interfere with muscle building. Instead of reaching for cookies or cake, a bowl of mixed berries satisfies your sweet tooth while actively protecting your muscles. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. This sounds too simple, or maybe you're worried it's too late to make a difference. Maybe you're looking at this list and feeling overwhelmed, wondering how you could possibly incorporate all of these foods into your routine. I understand that watching your strength decline or seeing it happen to someone you love can feel overwhelming. Maybe you've already accepted that weakness is just part of aging. Maybe you've looked in the mirror and thought, this is just how it's going to be now. I've talked to thousands of people over the years, and I hear the same fear over and over again. What if I become a burden? What if I can't take care of myself? What if I lose my independence? These aren't just worries about physical health. They're worries about dignity, about identity, about who you are as a person. I've seen the look in people's eyes when they realize they can't do something they used to do easily. The frustration when they have to ask for help opening a jar. The embarrassment when they need assistance getting up from a low chair. The fear when they feel unsteady on their feet. But here's what I want you to understand, and this is backed by decades of research. Muscle truly knows no age. Whether you're 65 or 95, your muscles can still respond and grow stronger. The idea that muscle loss is inevitable, that weakness is just part of getting older, that's not what the science shows us. Your muscles are waiting for the right signals, the right nutrients, the right care. They haven't given up on you, even if you've given up on them. Every single day, your body is making new muscle proteins, repairing damage, trying to rebuild. The question is, are you giving it what it needs to succeed? You're not too late, and it's not too complicated. You don't need to become a fitness fanatic or overhaul your entire life. You don't need expensive supplements or complicated meal plans. The foods I've shared with you today, they work because they give your body exactly what it needs to flip the switch from muscle breakdown to muscle building. I want you to start small, because small steps lead to big changes. Start with just 3 of these foods this week. Add Greek yogurt to your routine, maybe as an evening snack while you're watching television. Include eggs at breakfast, even just adding 1 egg to your usual morning meal. And drizzle olive oil on your vegetables instead of butter or margarine. That's it. 3 simple changes. In 7 days, I want you to pay attention to how you feel getting up from chairs, or climbing stairs, or reaching for something on a high shelf. Notice if tasks that have been getting harder start feeling just a little bit easier. Remember, every day you take action is a day you're investing in your independence, your confidence, and your quality of life. Every meal that includes these muscle-building foods is a meal that's working for you instead of against you. Small changes compound into life-changing results. The difference between someone who stays strong and independent and someone who isn't genetics or luck. It's the daily choices they make, the foods they choose, the way they take care of themselves, the decision to believe that they deserve to feel strong and capable. You have more control over your aging process than you think. You have more power to influence your future than anyone has ever told you. And it starts with something as simple as what you put on your plate. To recap what we've covered today: whey protein for fast muscle building, eggs for complete nutrition, Greek yogurt for overnight protection, fatty fish for inflammation control, lean beef for that powerful leucine boost, leafy greens for better blood flow, olive oil for natural anti-inflammatory protection, beans and legumes for gut health, nuts and seeds for essential minerals, and berries for cellular protection. 10 foods that work together to reverse muscle loss and help you stay strong. But here's what I really want to know from you. Which of these foods are you already eating, and which one surprised you the most? Maybe you had no idea that Greek yogurt could protect your muscles while you sleep, or that olive oil works like natural ibuprofen in your body. And I'm curious about something else. What changes have you noticed in your strength or energy lately? Are there things that used to be easy that now feel harder? Or maybe you've already started making some changes and you're noticing improvements. Share your story in the comments below. I read every single one, and your experience might be exactly what someone else needs to hear to get started on their own journey. If this information could help someone you care about, maybe a parent, a spouse, a friend who's been struggling with feeling weaker, please share this video with them. Knowledge is power, but only when it's shared. And if you want more evidence-based tips for aging gracefully and staying strong, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Here on Elderly Healthcare, we dig deep into the science of healthy aging, and I'm committed to giving you practical, actionable information that can truly make a difference in your life. Remember, aging gracefully isn't about accepting decline. It's about making informed choices that keep you strong, independent, and thriving. You have more control over your health and your future than you might think, and it starts with simple decisions like the foods you choose to put on your plate. Thank you for watching, and thank you for taking the time to invest in your health today. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay strong, stay informed, and remember that your best years can still be ahead of you.